Parties to the Sudan conflict have been asked to declare an unconditional ceasefire. President William Ruto has said that Sudan Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces must also agree to establish a humanitarian zone.
The situation, ladies and gentlemen, in Sudan is grave. As the conflict continues unabated, we are witness to its devastating impact on the people, on Sudan, and on the region. To date, the number of displaced individuals have surpassed the 2.9 million. More than 2.2 million people are internally displaced, while over 640,000 have sought refuge in neighboring countries.
He said the move will stop the loss of lives, ease access to public services, and facilitate settlement of the conflict.
The atrocities in Darfur are alarming. The targeted interracial attacks are particularly concerning as they steadily spiral into a humanitarian catastrophe. Our meeting must address this unfolding situation. Critical is the need for an immediate assessment of the security and humanitarian situation with a view to ensuring that action is taken to protect the civilian population. While the crisis in Sudan continues to escalate, the response remains inadequate.
The president made the remarks on Monday in Addis Ababa during the Intergovernmental Authority on Development Quartet Heads of State and Government meeting that focused on the Sudan conflict.
I strongly condemn this senseless violence, the brutal attacks on civilians, including women and children, and the extensive destruction of property and infrastructure that is threatening the nationhood of Sudan and spurring uncertainty across our entire neighborhood.
President Ruto, who also chairs the Igad Quartet, termed the situation in Sudan as dire, with data indicating that over 2.9 million people have been displaced.
And I recommend as follows. Track 1, establishment of safe humanitarian corridors. 2, mediation between the leadership of SAF and RSF so that we can stop the war. And number 3, commencing all-inclusive dialogue aimed at restoring Sudan to democratic governance. I believe this approach reinforces the search for peace and will allow progress that lays a firm foundation for a peaceful and stable Sudan.
On the other hand, the death toll stands at more than 2,000 as the crisis exerts more pressure on neighboring countries.